Hello and welcome. It's Wednesday's edition of Lunchtime Politics. I am Bukola Koka here in Lagos, Channels Television, standing in for your regular anchor, Jeffrey Uzongo. We begin in Abuja, where members of the Julius Abure-led Labour Party Members of the Julius Abure-led Labour Party are at the national headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to protest the decision of the Commission not to publish the names of Labour Party candidates in the FCT area council elections and some by-elections into the National Assembly. However, the party's Senator Nanadi Usman had dissociated the opposition party from the protests scheduled, describing the organizers as imposters and political impersonators. In a statement signed by Senior Special Advisor on Media to the party's interim national chairman, Ken Asogwa, the party said it was not behind the demonstration. The statement warns that anyone participating in or promoting the protest does so without the consent of the party and should be regarded as an imposter. According to the Labour Party, INEC recently rejected the legitimate list of candidates for the upcoming national by-elections and local council elections submitted by the former chairman of the party, Julius Abure, and his group. The Labour Party says it received that decision with relief, knowing that INEC, as a responsible electoral umpire, would eventually proceed to accept and publish the authentic list submitted by the current lawful leadership of the party, according to the Nanadi Usman-led group of the party.
Make I talk! Talk! Make I yarn! Yarn! Make I sorrow! Sorrow! Make I imagana!
The Borno State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has distanced itself from any coalition, pledging allegiance to the leadership of the party under the acting national chairman, Mr. Umar Damagum. At a youth parliament rally organized to galvanize support for the party ahead of the 2027 general elections, leaders of the PDP in Borno say the party remains strong as ever, vowing to win all elections.
Members of the People's Democratic Party in Borno State are meeting to forge a strong force ahead of the 2027 general elections. The session is attended mostly by women and young adults, as the party plans to mobilize grassroots support. The leadership of the party in the state dismissed any threats by the opposition coalition, stating that the party's structure remains intact.
The PDP did not win in Borno due to some 2 or 3 factors. One of the factors is the issue of allocation of resources. The APC are not going into election for the purpose of election, but for the purpose of arithmetic exercise, writing figures. That is what they do. And we know, we have seen it, and we are taking measures to ensure that that figure writing exercise has come to stop.
So we here PDP in Borno State, you can see our structure from the state level to the world level. None of the executive have left. Those that have left are people that are in other parties and they came to open to seek for platforms. But being neglected because we know their character, that they are moving from one party to another just to get their platform. And they refuse them. That's why they are now going out and telling people that they have left PDP or they are not part of PDP. Because if they ask them to provide their membership card, you cannot have them with a membership card. So if they have it, they should bring in with their information letter that yes, we have left PDP and this is what, but they have not, because they are not our members.
Speaking on the recent political realignments in the country, the state chairman of the party is optimistic that the party will emerge stronger ahead of the 2027 general elections.
Nigerians to the dreamland. We have seen the good days of the 16 years of the PDP administration in Nigeria, when things were turned around positively for the benefit of ordinary Nigerians. Unfortunately, some people gang up and destroy the PDP and hijack the government. And today, they have put us into worse security scenario, poverty, lack of development, lack of education, lack of medical care, And what have you?
The party also received some defectors from other political parties.
And following the resignation of Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje as the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, stakeholders of the party in Kano State have reaffirmed their unwavering support for the administration of President Bola Tinubu. The event, which attracted political heavyweights from the state, took place amid strong shows of unity and commitment to the party's former national leader, Abdullahi Ganduje. Our correspondent, Abubakar Salihu, reports.
A full house at a strategic APC stakeholders meeting in Kano. The air filled with political chants, party slogans, and a renewed call for unity. Speaking to newsmen, Chairman of the House Committee on Appropriations, Abba Bichi, announced a major federal project coming to the state, a $1 billion Metro Light rail system aimed at transforming urban transportation in Kano.
We have important projects called light rail in Kano metropolitans. You know, I mean, I'm sure some people who travel abroad, such as Europe and Asia and America, they have seen that rail line projects. And currently the project is preparing to procure it any moment from now. The cost of the project is around $1 billion US. And you know, of course, which Nigerian money is more than 1.5 trillion naira, which will be in Kano State, Kano metropolitans.
Similarly, Ado Dogwa, member representing Dogwa to the Wada Federal Constituency, reiterated the stakeholders' loyalty to the president, calling on unity among party members nationwide.
The APC family in Kano State, under the leadership and guidance of Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, and of course under the chairmanship of Abdullahi Abbas, Ibn Abbas, Dan Sarki, Jikan Sarki, that we remain united. That we want to demonstrate to the people that we are determined and we are still committed to deliver the APC come 2027 from head to top. I say from head to top because this was what we did in 2023.
The Minister of State for the Federal Capital Territory, Dr. Maria Mahmoud Bunkuri, highlighted key achievements of the administration, including the reduction in the cost of food items across the country, a development she attributed to strategic interventions in the agriculture sector.
Talk about agriculture, you have seen, and this is everywhere justified, that the price of food is coming down. And Kano, with the population we have, people are so happy that when you are buying at 70, 80, you can now buy it at 30, 40,000. So, and this is just the beginning. We are starting. We want it to go lower, lower, and lower.
The stakeholders called for continued unity within the party while expressing confidence in the federal government's direction under President Tinubu. Abubakar Salihu, Channels Television News.
And there's more on politics, but just before that, a magistrate court in Lagos has ordered the remand of an alleged notorious serial killer, Wasiu Akinwande, popularly called Olori Esho, at the Nigeria Correctional Service in Kirikiri. This was after the Nigeria Police Lagos Command charged the suspect, Olori Esho, before Chief Magistrate Mobolaji Tanimola of the Samuel Ilori Courthouse, Ogba, Lagos. In a brief ruling, the Chief Magistrate remanded the suspect at the Kirikiri Correctional Facility and adjourned till September the 4th this year.
44-year-old suspected notorious serial killer Wasiu Akinwande, also known as Olori Esho, driven into the Samuel Ilori Courthouse, Ogba, Lagos, by officers of the Lagos Police Tactical Squad. The suspect is charged before Chief Magistrate Mobolaji Tanimola on an 11-count charge of alleged conspiracy, murder, attempted murder, illegal possession of firearms, membership of an unlawful society, possession of poisonous dagger, grievous bodily harm, threat to life, and possession of international passports. Some of Olori Esho's victims are also here at the courthouse.
I was called by a friend that Wasiu has shot my brother. On getting there, I saw my brother lying in a pool of blood, and like 10 meters away, I saw him, Wasiu Akiwande. I saw him with my eye. But I was there to just try to rescue my brother. So immediately after the occurrence, I took my brother to our hospital where he was pronounced dead. Then we called on the tactical team of Ogambasi. And before even the Ogambasi arrived, there was a guy, before my arrival, there was a guy that tried to rescue my brother, Ramadan Mohammed. Because this guy is trying to rescue a friend, they killed that guy too, on that spot. That fateful night, around 12:08, we got to his residence. He flew, he ran. But we were able to recover many of the ammunition, among which the one he used to kill my brother, according to the IPO in charge, was among. But I want justice to prevail. From sources, he has been doing this, he has been killing. He's not just, I don't need to say he's a mistake killer. Yeah, he's a serial killer according to research. So if he has been doing it and he does this and it goes away, we don't know who he's next to. That's why I want to protect the image of the community.
All what I want is, please, we need justice, because he has been doing all these things. But this one, Bola Kale and Ramadan Yusuf, we want justice on them, please.
Police prosecutor Nosa Unhuago requests that the suspect be remanded in police custody, pending the advice of the Lagos State Director of Public Prosecution, DPP, in line with Section 264 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Law of 2015. In her ruling, Chief Magistrate Mobalaji Tanimola remands the suspect at the Kirikiri Correctional Center for 30 days, while the case is adjourned to September 4th to await the DPP's legal advice.
The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, is again reaffirming his commitment to sustain the ongoing reforms in the Nigerian police force, as he warns that lies by social media critics will not derail or drown the resolve to maintain a highly professional police force. Speaking in Abuja on the occasion of the decoration of the Policeman of the Year 2023 and 2024, Mr. Egbetokun says provocations, if sustained, will be met with lawful consequences. He adds that the Nigerian police force is moving forward and will continue to reward excellence and exceptional performance and conduct of personnel across the country.
Let me be unequivocal. There is no gender advantage, no ethnic preference, no religious pathway, only merit. But even as we mark this milestone, we are not blind to the resistance. We know there are those who fear change, who attack progress because it exposes their irrelevance. A certain corner of social media has become a playground for professional mischief makers and agents of institutional sabotage. They twist facts, malign honorable men, and attempt to discredit noble efforts with shameless dishonesty. Let me send them a clear and final message. Your lies will not derail our reforms. Your noise will not drown our resolve. And your provocations, if sustained, will be met with lawful consequences. The Nigerian police force is moving forward, with or without your approval.
Welcome back. Now, with the victory of the Super Falcons at the just concluded WAFCON tournament in Morocco and that of the D Tigresses in the just concluded Afro Women Basketball Championship, there's keen interest now about the need for more development in sports at the grassroots level. And we'll be focusing on one particular state in the north, Gombe State. And we have joining us Mr. Hamed Shaibu Garba, is a chairman, Athletic Association, Gombe State. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Garba.
Thank you, madam. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And you hope you're well too. Let's begin with the upcoming National Sports Festival in Enugu. What's the state's preparation like? Give us a sense of how Gombe State is preparing for all sports in category.
Well, let me first correct you. It's Ahmed Shuaibu Gara Gombe, not Garba, please. So just for the
Gara.
purpose of correction. Thank you so much. Now, let me say that in Gombe State, of course, I'm one of such persons who said that you don't leave everything to the government to do. You make your own contributions, the little you can, and to encourage the government, especially if you have a chief executive who, you know, sports is a passion and interest. So if someone is not interested, you have to encourage him. You have to do things to give him a kind of courage or encouragement to come into sports. And that's what we are doing. In athletics in Gombe State, we have organized the inter-primary schools competition. In 2023, we have organized inter-secondary school athletics competition and Principal Football Cup in 2024. And by the grace of God, this year we are going to organize the tertiary institutions games. Now, you talked about the National Sports Festival coming up in Enugu State. Unfortunately, with the creation of the National Sports Commission and the shutting up of the ministry, we thought things will change. We thought we are going to move away from our past. We thought things will be done differently. It's no longer business as usual. But in all honesty, with all the kind of support Mr. President has given so far to sports in particular, from the Olympics, where he released more than 20 billion that was squandered and mismanaged, and also the kind of encouragement he did by motivating these young girls that went to Morocco and won WAFCON, and also the Tigres that went to Senegal and won the African Championship. Honestly speaking, we are not matching the support of the presidency. Now, how do I mean? Imagine we have a National Sports Commission that are only focusing about competitions. So we are only talking about competition promotions. We are not talking about development. We have abandoned the very framework, the legal framework that established the National Sports Commission. We have abandoned the very policy of sports. We have also abandoned the grassroots principle, development which we are supposed to have done by now. But nothing is happening. You just see people just traveling up and down, not really focusing on these key areas. So the National Sports Festival that took place in Abeokuta and the one that is coming up in Enugu, when you aggregate it, what did we achieve out of it? So we just have to go back to the Marshall Plan of
Mr.
policy,
Gombe.
infrastructure, and also the legal framework for sports development in Nigeria. That is not happening now, and really does not match the support of Mr. President.
Mr. Gara, when you say the creation of the National Sports Commission does not, amount to much difference and is not matching the support of Mr. President, are you by extension expressing dissatisfaction with the leadership of Mr. Shehu Diko of the National Sports Commission? And what are you expecting really at the state level that you are not seeing from the NSC?
Unfortunately, madam, we handed over sports to people who were investigated before. They have a bad past. The records are there. We have people who are currently under investigations, even by EFCC, like the DG. The records are there. We hand over our sports to them. And perhaps the background check, the profiling that you do before you appoint people into public office has not been done properly. And that is where we found ourselves to where we are. And the records are there. So what I'm trying to say is that these guys have completely abandoned. They are running sports like husband and wife. They are running sports like sole administrators. They are running sports now as personal properties. And that, I do not think the wisdom of Mr. President to return National Sports Commission, that's what he's looking for. Look at the law establishing the commission itself. Many components that are supposed to be part of the laws are not there. They are not being, the board has not been inaugurated. So I hope one day somebody will not go to court to ask for interpretation of the actions that have been taken without the proper law. The National Assembly, Senate, and House Committee on Sports is part of their oversight. You form a law, it's a law you have established, but it's not being followed. is not different components. Like there's part of the law that says every zone should have a representation in that commission. But it's not there. Nobody is doing it. They have put it aside for almost 8 months. They are incurring expenditure. They are taking decisions. They are traveling all over the place. They are committing Nigeria, hosting this, hosting that they cannot be managed very well. Look at the last championship of under 18, under 17. Many people have not been paid as I speak. And this is very this is embarrassing. And there is many other examples like that. Now, just yesterday, I was reading where they said Nigeria is now going to host the next inter-schools. We are not meant to be hosting events. It's not about promotions. Let's develop. What program do we have from this grassroots? The president has a special assistant, I think, on grassroots sports development. What is that person doing?
Mr. Gara, you're still not quite clear about your concern about the leadership of the NSC. Are you speaking specifically to Mr. Shehu Diko's style of leadership? And what exactly are you expecting at the sports level in terms of support for the kind of programs that you want to put forward that you are not seeing?
First and foremost, we have to restore confidence between the corporate Nigeria and the sports industry. There is trust deficit. There is no confidence. Anybody who you talk about the corporate Nigeria, about sports, the first thing that comes to his mind is corruption. We have to fight corruption. Secondly, we have to put up a program, a proper program about grassroots from the schools. That's where we are supposed to go to. Let's go back to the policies that are there. There was a sports industry policy that was established. What are we doing with it? What is the no matter, even though I have issues with that policy, is imperfect, but still, as imperfect as it is, we have to bring back that policy to start to implement the perfect parts of it. Something good has to come out of it. Number three, if we talk about infrastructure, the whole of Nigeria today, the whole of Nigeria, I repeat, there is only one stadium that meets FIFA and CAF standard. Today, that is Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo. Once that stadium is shut down, Nigeria has to go and play our matches maybe in Ghana or in South Africa. So we have to focus on infrastructure. Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja that we have today cannot host any FIFA match because it's not up to standard. Not only it was banned, it was downgraded from level 4 to level 1, which means it can't host any of this. So we have to focus also in infrastructure. We have to focus in having a transition program towards total disengagement of government from funding sports. Now, the sports federations also, we need to give them their independence. We have seen where now the sports commission leadership, they have taken over the job of sports federations presidents. We have 38 to 39 Olympics and non-Olympic sports federations. They are all there. We should give them total independence to run their associations, to run their federations in line with their constitution of African affiliates and also the world affiliates. These are the things we should be doing, not traveling up and down, calling for championship, running to states to ask them to host events and the rest of it. That is not what we expected. And like I said, we can change the name of National Sports Commission 1 million times. If we don't fight corruption, or we don't change our mindset, or we don't put the right people there, we'll continue to be what I would call Baba seed, motion without movement. And that is where we are today. Who gave Shehu Diko and Olapade the right to run sports as if it's their personal property when there is a law established? What happened to the law signed by Mr. President? What happened to it? All the geopolitical zones, institutional stakeholders are supposed to be a part of that board. So like I said earlier, very soon, somebody somewhere, people will go to the judiciary to ask for the interpretation of all the actions they have taken, all the money they have spent, everything they have done without having the proper composition of the board in place. That is where we are, and that is the expectation. Remember, Madam, also, if I may say it, 20-something billion.
In 15 seconds.
Yes. Yes, 20 billion was established, was released by Mr. President for us to go to Olympics. We went to Olympics, we came back without a single spoon. And the people who spend that money are still moving around as if nothing happens. It's very unfortunate. And secondly, the present leadership of the National Sports Commission, some of them are under investigation by EFCC.
All right. You have said that before.
And we are still giving them money to spend.
Mr. Gara, this conversation seems to have taken a life of its own. We wanted also to talk about sports in Gombe State, but we must anchor at this point and, secure assurance that we will continue this conversation next time. We've been talking with Mr. Hamid Shaibu Gara Gombe. He's the chairman, Gombe Athletic Association. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
And there's more to come. A support group of President Tinubu tagged the Southwest agenda for Asiwaju, says the president has done the best for Nigeria in the past 2 years, and he deserves to continue his work beyond 2027. The national chairman of the group, Senator Dayo Adeyeye, said this at a press briefing in Lagos, where he also added that the group will be doing everything in its power to preach good governance to Nigerians.
The second is swagger cut across the political divide in Nigeria, and Nigerian interest is our priority. It's not an ethnic objective. It's not a religious objective. Nigerian interest is our priority. We have taken it as a duty to project good governance to the people and sensitize them on the need to support the giant strides of President Tinubu as he rebuilds Nigeria. If Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had not undertaken these reforms, if he had not, for example, removed the first subsidy, if he has not floated the Naira, where will we be today?
And that sums it up as you have been served today's edition of Lunchtime Politics. Thank you so much for being there. We'll be back again tomorrow with more. I am Bukola Koga. Bye for now.